Alright, so I've tried stalling a little bit because that sun is setting. Like, this is actually 6:24. This is the time it's supposed to be sunset. But the bike path is heading toward that direction, and if I'm going to film it, I'd rather not be blinded and not have it in the sun. But I think it's at the right spot now where I can turn around and give it a go. Hopefully, we'll see. Like, this might be the right time where it's still light enough out for the video to capture it, but not being blinded by the sun. So I waited there like 10 minutes about. So now we are going to try to head off toward downtown Phoenix. So this is a multi-purpose path meeting. You can have bike riders, walkers, dog walkers, scooters. Yeah, so there's clearly like a dam of sorts here, and with all the growth and trees, obviously it's not like the Salt River. Maybe there's a slightly different location for it. All these cars that are parked here, I assume, are beach parking. And right now, we have that little mound there that's in the way of the sun. I'm hoping once we clear that we still remain away from the sun. By the way, I don't think I mentioned it at the very, very start of this video, because I had just shot like a different video before that. But if I didn't say it, today is March 2nd, a Saturday, 2024. When I started the video, it was about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Presently, it's 6:25 p.m. Mountain Time and 73 degrees now Fahrenheit. You know what's funny? I was just holding my camera up to take a picture, and I was like, why is my camera distorting these street lamps to be curved? They actually are curved by design. So again, this is a case of how things can lie, because when I was trying to look at glimpses of this on Google Maps, and you look at it, I was thinking to myself, like, it's not really that scenic. Now, granted, if I look to my left side, you kind of just see dirt mounds, but the bike path is very smooth. I like the little trees and like mini cacti along the way. You've got these sitting spots so far that are along the trail. And even this along the right, even though it seems like, don't know how to quite describe it, but it just like works. It's like, and then also far in the background, you've got the shadow of the mountains with the clear sky and the sun setting. This is like just perfect. Now, and it's a flat path, so that's also good for not having to tax yourself too much. Sun is down, so I don't have to worry about being sunburned. Okay, now what's this? Looks like we're going down underneath the highway. Okay, that makes sense. most part. Very clean on the route too. It's fun. There is water actually like running in this, almost like a swamp. So, I mean, I think this is the Salt River, and I don't know. I don't know how rivers work. And further on there, I see more of the river. So maybe it's like buried underneath all this, but it's so low that you can't see it. I think you could have also taken the bike path up to the street level and then just like crossed the street and sort of continued, but this was the uninterrupted way. You can probably hear it. There is a wind blowing against us. Another thing that's cool, look at the airplanes coming in. They got one over there, and like I'm just riding in between them. I also have the powerful bike light that came with this rental. But no need to use it right now. And another thing too, you can see all the curved lights I was referencing earlier. So you can just imagine at nighttime, this route is going to be extremely well lit. Which is funny because since I've started like driving a car in certain neighborhoods when I drive, I'm like shocked how there's like no streetlights whatsoever and it's just almost pitch black. But yeah, you've got a great bike path like this, no shortage of lights. I wonder what time they'll come on. Maybe we'll see them pop on soon. That wind blowing against us is making it a little bit of a workout at least. Despite the ground being flat, giving that resistance. Google Maps references this as the Rio Salado Bike Pathway. I don't know if that's the firm name of it or if there's other naming mechanisms. because there's a stretch back in Tempe where it was called something else on the map. Now that, no lighting on path, use at your own risk. But then why is this gate open here on the right? Let me see. I'll try to consult Google here. Google Maps. I think we're going to want to go down underneath the bridge, similar to earlier. I think this is going back up to like the street. Let me make sure I put my phone away though. So down here, there's no lights. There's still some lights up there on the left. But what I was wondering is, I wonder if that nice lighting continues the entire bike trail, or if there's a certain stretch where they cease and don't exist. Tempe city limit, and that's another thing I was wondering. Was that like Tempe that was responsible for installing those lights, but not whatever other city? Maybe we'll call it Phonix. So that part's open too, but that just takes you down to the river. That's pretty cool too. You're riding right alongside the airport, so that's where I would have come in earlier. I can see the Sky Train that I filmed a video on. This sign here calls it Valley Path. So various different names. I'll have to try to look online to see what the most agreed on common name is. Try to turn the camera toward the right if I can while I'm riding. The Phonix Sky Harbor Airport. And how about this? Let's stop on the X right here. There's an airplane coming toward us. I don't know if it's going to curve. It's getting pretty high in the elevation. And then if we look like that way, you can see a Southwest airplane landing. Yeah, that one's getting too far. Might actually have been flying the other way. My depth perception was messed up. Got some form of artwork here on the left. Also a spot to sit down. So yeah, once we left the Tempe city limit, you can see where the path would get, I guess, dark. I don't know if the airport would shine enough light to make it not dark. Let's try out this light for a second. Yeah, it's still too... still way too bright to even see the light when I put it on. Oh, here we go. So you do get, I was wondering if you would get any planes that essentially flew right over you. What I was trying to say was, once I passed that river area of Tempe, I'm a little surprised that there's not more utilization. Like, I haven't seen a soul. I've been the only person on this bike path for a while. And by the way, if the camera picks it up, yes, we have the airport here, but beyond that, where you see the buildings, that's downtown Phoenix. Let's see on Google Maps what it tells us. It says we've got 36 minutes still to go and 6.8 miles until I get to the hotel. Now, not all of that is going to be the trail. We're going to get to a certain point where, like, the trail's here, and imagine, you know, how far off we are from downtown. And at that point, you're going to switch over probably to city roads. Got another plane coming in hot from southwest. Oh, here we go. Signs of life. There's two bicyclists coming toward me. I probably should put on my light now. See, now the light is not for me to see right now. It's for oncoming traffic to see me, which I should have thought about that, but like I can see someone in the distance, another cyclist. They don't have their light on, but you know, at least me having mine on gives them a little cue that I'm here. I saw an animal hop into the bushes from a distance. I thought I did. Not sure what it was though. Small animal. I'm hoping this video isn't too dark. Sometimes when it gets sunsetish like this, even though I can see perfectly good, the camera darkens everything. I know the beginning would have been fine, but right now it might just look like yellow in the top half and black in the bottom half of the screen. I'll see when I review the footage. So if it does look dark, my apologies. One of those things where I explored what I could in Tempe, and tried to make it a good time to bike back still while it was daylight. I do know if the sun sets anymore, it will be almost impossible to see on the film, so I'll try to use judgment if I cut the video off. Forgive me for swatting the camera there. Some bugs were flying up in my face, so I went to swat them away. the one thing I'm noticing is that based on the trajectory of the bike path, the trek to the Phonix portion is going to be quite a bit more than I was like assuming in my head. Yeah, unfortunately, now it's to a point where it's going to be tough on video to appreciate the landscape. Too bad the whole path wasn't lit either, because then I think it would have been moot. You would have been able to see on the video. Oh, it's a little bunny rabbit, so I'm sure that's probably what I saw run out earlier too. Turn right. Okay, we're really dipping down on this one. Forgive the lack of narration. I'm going to use a judgment call later whether to include this footage or not. So if it happens to look okay, which I doubt, because even my phone can't pick it up, and my phone usually can pick up dark areas pretty good. If it does look okay, I'll include it. If it doesn't, I'll see whether I splice. Well, if it doesn't, I'm not going to even include what I'm saying now, but sort of talking to myself. I'll see whether I splice the footage. What do we have here now? Normally I'd go here, but what's the construction thing? You have to determine whether I want to splice the footage, like the beginning portion and make it a whole Tempe video, as opposed to like, oh, here's a bike riding video. This part is all out. So in hindsight, if I could have done this again, given the time and sun, I would have ridden it a little bit, and then once it started getting a little bit dark, I would have tried to find the nearest train station and board that. Because now it's so dark where it's not really enjoyable for anyone. Video, it's not enjoyable for me because I can barely see. I can see, but just focused on the road ahead of me. If there's any saving grace, the trail does appear to be ever so slightly curving in toward the direction of downtown Phoenix. Alright, so this is the point where we're supposed to make a left because we're going to start heading toward downtown Phoenix. Alright, so that path, obviously with no lights, got way too dark for video viewing purposes. This is the point of the path where we rode a lot and then are now exiting to go over the bridge that takes you toward downtown Phoenix. So my apologies for not being able to include the full bike ride. But hopefully at that beginning portion in Tempe, when it was still, the sun was setting but not quite fully set, you still got enough of a glimpse. And yeah, I think this is what the route was named, despite the conflicting names that we saw earlier. Rio Salado. Okay, I'm actually gonna get up and walk it here for a second, because I think it's gonna be dark on the bridge too. There is a protected barrier. There is a bike lane in the street, but no one's on the sidewalk, so I'll just take the extra buffer here. And the sidewalk's smooth. Be a different story if it was all busted up, maybe. sidewalks are weaving in and out, so I guess the bike lane would have made more sense, but still making it work. Got past that busy intersection, or not really busy, but the highway that I wanted to focus on, where their cars are coming. Let's try the street bike lane for a second. think we're coming up on Chase Field. Unless that's a different building, but it looks like it. Well, back in the hotel room, did the full ride back. Unfortunately, the footage got way too dark because, it's dark outside. What do you want? But anyway, hopefully the beginning of that portion of the Tempe bike ride was good, and the rest of it I just ended up cutting because you would have just seen pitch black. So if you enjoyed this exploring video of Tempe, Arizona, and a little bit of Phonix mixed in, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.